right. Hello, everyone. This is Shelly, your host of the Stretch of Identity podcast. This is Vivian here. Hello. And on this podcast, we talk to first or second generation entrepreneur Canadians about their stories, anything that they want to unfold. So today, like I said, we have Vivian. She is the owner of Vivian Grace Photography, as well as the co-owner of this beautiful studio, Creative Lounge. I was going to say Creative Studio. Creative Lounge. So welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast. Hello. So let's go right in the middle here. Okay, so let's start out. Tell me, like what area of the city did you grow up in Winnipeg here?
So I grew up in inner city, right near the Exchange District.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm Winnipeg. Don't
Okay, so really right by the Exchange District. So that's by what?
So corner of Logan and Salter.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
right over there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Did you go to school, like post-secondary education or anything like that?
Yes. So I attended U of Winnipeg for a little bit. But university wasn't really my thing. So I went into medical office assisting, so like administration.
Whoa.
And yeah, big transition.
Yeah. What did you do at U of W? What were you starting there?
Honestly, I think I really felt pressured to go to
Yeah,
university for a little bit. Yeah, even though I took a year off, I still had that instillment of you need to do post-secondary, you need to do something with your life. And it's kind of funny that I never really wanted to do healthcare. Well, specifically to become a nurse or a doctor or in dental, that's what my parents were hoping that I would get into. But I was never interested in that path.
But I went to medical.
But I went to medical, but the administration side.
Right.
So I love the organization. I love
Sorry, you loved it. So you like organizing?
Yeah, I love to organization and stuff like that.
Did you know, fun fact, I just learned this recently, that apparently, because I'm very organized, too much for my own good, too much of a perfectionist for my own good. But apparently that's a part of masking, masking ADHD.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, because you're hyper focused, right? You're hyper focused. You always want to maintain A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. Right. So.
And then when I can't, then it's ooh.
Then
then you just don't do it.
When things are messy, then you get anxious and the disorganization sort of kicks in. And I'm also a Virgo, so I always want to be practical, so very analytical, so judgy, especially for myself.
Interesting. That's a Virgo thing. Huh.
Yeah,
that makes sense, because I'm thinking about my friend who's a Virgo. I'm yeah.
We're very organized, and we're just on to the point. We hate being late.
Right.
But being Filipino.
Yeah, just naturally in us. It's just
Filipino time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, today we're running on Filipino time. Jeez Louise. Okay, so let's dive right into it. So you mentioned that you went to school, university. It's not for everyone. I feel like that's a very common thing, especially for Filipinos or in general. And then you went into administration kind of stuff. So with that being said, what drove you towards photography?
So photography was always a part of my life because my mom, she was the one that was always capturing family events, even pictures of me when I was growing up. I have so many photos of me as a child, and being able to, look back at these memories. So she was the one that always held the camera and documenting everything. And was
she a photographer, or she just had a
she had a Pentax manual camera,
right?
And it was all print, so she shot in manual, not digital,
right?
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So like she sort of inspired me, and when I started taking an interest, she was the one that supported me. She bought my first camera, like those like digital ones.
Yeah.
Like every Christmas.
Digicam.
Like digicamera. Like I would always like look at like London Drugs or like Best Buy or what's it called? Future Shop.
Oh
when it
my
still
gosh.
existed.
Yeah.
We would always like look at the flyers to look at different cameras, and then I guess she really saw my interest in it.
How old were you when you started?
Like junior high is when like I got my first camera and really like playing around with photography. Like I would take pictures of everything, like flowers, water.
Nice, yeah.
I know, like the more like the
Yeah.
like the more like macro, the better.
Right.
Like the really really close up and trying to get like the details of all of the like the details of the subject that I would get. However, my parents didn't see photography as a career.
Yeah.
They supported it as a hobby. So that's what led me to like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. So I kind of went into this like path of like going into university. That didn't work out. And then I just like sort of went into like a safe spot in medical administration.
Right.
And then I started, like I went around with like WHA and like various hospitals. And then I ended up in a private clinic.
Okay.
This was all happening like at COVID.
Really?
Yeah, and then I ended up managing that private clinic.
How was that?
Do
you just, I haven't forgotten.
It really helped me build myself up.
Right.
Right. So that in itself was a journey. However, I always found myself back in photography. And it was when in 2019, my dad had passed away. And I had like this realization that, you know, life is short, your future is not guaranteed.
Right.
And I really wanted to pursue my passion and really do the things that I wanted to do. And photography sort of helped with my grief to help me reconnect with
oh my god, you can meet you.
Yeah, it helped me like reconnect with the present, because I was always living in the past when I was like navigating my dad's death and like wishing things, and I had like these regrets, and then I had this fear of the future of like, you know, that nothing's for certain. And photography helped me sort of stay present in a way, because I was able to focus on like what's in front of me.
Did you, when you were doing it in that moment, like on time with your photography, were you focusing more on like people photography, or what was your?
It was definitely people.
Yeah.
It was people and storytelling, and
that was after COVID, during COVID?
It was like during COVID.
Okay.
So like 2020 is when I like really like, before that I was like dabbling into it, and then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start this as a business, like I said, in 2020. So this September will be my 5 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was always with the people, you know, and I love, especially with families and couples, just capturing their connection with one another. You know, you see various walks of life, and being able to capture their story, even if it's just an hour, it helped me to know that love and life still exist. I know photography, people think it's just like, you know, pressing a button and pointing and shooting.
I wish.
But it's a lot more than that. It's a lot, other than the technical side.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. Like, you see parts of relationships and families that no other people see, because it is a vulnerable, it's a vulnerable thing.
Well, and especially when you're working with people who aren't even comfortable in front of a camera too.
Yeah.
I think that's such a skill that photographers have, is and especially when it's a couple who, both of them, like if it, like let's say it's an engagement shoot, and if it's a couple where both of them are not comfortable in front of the camera, and they do that, right? Yeah, that's amazing. And you know what, it's interesting nowadays, and maybe I'll pick your brain at this. Do you find, well, because you've been doing photography since you were young, do you find that nowadays, with the way that technology is, with like phones and everything like that, and with the uptake of influencers, do you feel like because of all that, that kind of like diminished the importance of being a photographer?
I don't think so.
No.
Because, like, yes, like my camera, or like my camera is a tool, but also I, as a photographer, have a skill. And not to say that other people don't, but it's just.
But it is a skill.
Like it's, without me, it's just my camera.
It's just a point and shoot.
Exactly. But how I do it is, I like the storytelling. I like the connection. When you're in front of my camera, I don't want to just pose you. Like, I ask you to do certain things. Like I ask you to, okay, like pretend you're just on your phone, you know. And yeah, I'm losing my train of thought now. I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, what was the question again? Oh,
it's the technology and finding it. Well, what you said was just like, it's not just a point and shoot, because you capture the storytelling behind it, right? And I think that's amazing. Like, I think that's very true. I think it's a skill that not many people have, and I personally think it's overlooked in the photography world. So
and I mean, like, anyone, like, there's always room. I know that right now there's like a fear of everyone is becoming a photographer, but that's like with every other field, right? Exactly. Everyone.
Exactly. Well, and the one thing that I noticed too is, well, especially when I first started following you, first of all, for the audience who don't know, Vivian and I shared the same studio when I started my stretching business, and that's how we met. But I was gonna say, when I first started following you, you actually took a break because of your daughter?
It was like last year.
Yeah,
it was last year. So last year was like the 5th year of my dad's passing. And I was just dealing with a lot mentally, because right around the time that I was about to give birth, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. So 2022 was also like one of the like heaviest and just like most confusing time, and I was also diagnosed with like COVID. So that was just and it was like my birthday. It was just such a chaotic time. And then like motherhood in itself, like becoming a new mom and like postpartum, like just like my mental health like really like took a hit. And April last year I was going back to work, and I just needed to like step back, and that 5-year mark felt really heavy.
Detrimental. Right. Okay, let's pause. Let's move over to the interview portion.
That was nice. You dig deep.
You were mentioning when you were getting a stretch there that you were going through a very tough mental health time. So actually tell me how you felt when you found out that your mom had cancer.
When it was confirmed that she had cancer, I think I just froze, and I kind of shoved whatever I was feeling, and I just wanted to be there for her. And really make sure she was doing okay, because you know, in the Filipino community, you don't really, it's taboo to talk about your feelings. You never talk about your feelings. You're just taught to be silent. You're just taught to
suck it up,
and just like you have this internal like battle. Like she was like born in the 1940s, so yeah, like I just wanted to make sure that she was okay. And my mom was never the type of person to talk about her feelings.
Right.
She would always say like, I'm good, I'm strong, and you know, like, I'm okay. But then there was times where like she did ask for help.
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah, and then that really, you know, you see your parents, growing up, you see your parents as your hero, like your number one, you look up to them, and to see them at a vulnerable state, it breaks you. And then in that transition of being a mother myself, I felt like I had to carry everyone's emotions.
Right, because you didn't want to show your daughter that you're hurt, but you also didn't want to show your mom that you're hurt on what's going on.
Yeah.
And so, with that being said, like you mentioned in one of the answers of your questions, that your goal as a mother, and especially experiencing the grieving of both your mom and dad, was being able to show your daughter as she's second generation, third generation.
She would be second.
Second, yes.
Yeah. I was born in
2 years. 2 years old.
2 and a half.
Yeah, not more.
She's 2 and a half.
But you mentioned that like as a mother for a daughter who's in Canada and trying to stay away, but also stay close to the Filipino cultural roots, is showing strength, but also showing that you can be vulnerable too. Right?
Yeah.
So how did you navigate that? Like, how did you navigate that for yourself? Like, it's
like
grief, yeah, all of it. Like, it's.
I'm still trying to navigate it. You know, my mom just passed away in April, so it's still very fresh and it's still very raw. But honestly, prayer and connection and just watching my daughter play with the toys that I had growing up, and just looking back on images and photos of my parents, and not the photos just with me with them, it's like photos of them from like when they were young.
Right.
So yeah, like I often forget what my mom looks like towards the end of her life.
Yeah.
I often, when I think of my mom, I think about the time when she was like healthy, when she was young.
Well, that's good.
But it's photos and images of her and videos of her and Elena. It makes me feel like she's still here. And I know that she's still here. But it's it's hard, and I'm learning to just talk about it. Talk about it. Yeah, just keep talking, because I heard from somewhere, it was a girl on Instagram, that if you can talk about it and you're still talking about it, and talking about it makes you stay, then keep talking. Because that's where I
Oh my gosh, girl. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Alright, yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
But like actually, so let's actually talk. How, because you mentioned, I know it's hard to just randomly bring this up, but let's talk about your adoption story. Okay, so just for the audience, if you don't know, no, you don't know, because anyways, I send the guests questions on topics that they want to talk about, or just stories that they haven't been able to share that I would like to bring up and that they do want to share. And one of the stories is that Vivian is adopted. When you first told me, I thought it was just so interesting, because I don't often hear that in the Filipino community. I often see like people in my generation adopting, but not being an adopted. But also, you were adopted by, are they Filipino?
Yes, they're Filipino.
Yeah, okay. So
I didn't even know.
Yeah, how did you find out? Like,
well, growing up, I always had this like intuition or this feeling that like I'm different, and I wasn't sure where that feeling of different was.
Do you have siblings?
Girl, biologically or adopted?
I don't know.
I
guess adopted.
So adopted.
Yeah.
I have an older sister. She's also adopted as well.
Mm.
So I knew that she was adopted. I didn't know
She's
I was
not your
adopted.
biological.
No, she's not my
adopted.
biological.
Whoa.
If we're talking about biological, it's like 14 siblings in the Philippines.
Whoa.
So we can. That's a good different story.
That's a whole other
That's a good
40-minute podcast. That's a
But yeah, no, like I had a sibling, but she's like 20 years older than me.
Mm-hmm.
So she already has like has a family, and so I didn't grow up with her, but I knew that she existed and she was my sister. Like my mom had adopted her when my mom was younger.
Right.
So that was there. But I found out a lot later in life. I was like 19, and that's like already like a pivotal age. Like you're already, you know, like you're like going into adulthood, and you're just leaving like high school, and you're just like in between childhood and adulthood. So like you're already trying to figure out like your identity, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way, you're adopted. And I'm just kind of like, what? Like this truth, I'm just like, okay. So like I've had that sense of feeling that I may or may not look. It was also like not looking at my parents, like not looking like my parents. I didn't have their, like I biology. I didn't have their face. I just didn't look
Sorry.
So like I'm, you know, like I was like short Filipino. They're short in Filipino, but I was like a little bit more morena than them. Like I'm darker skin than them. So I'm like, I don't look like you guys.
Girl, I'm straight up the darkest in my family.
So like that's why I'm just like, okay, well maybe like Filipinos, because we're all like different, you know, like there's just not one type of like what we look like. So I'm like, all right, I'm saying like a lot right now.
That's okay. Girl.
So finding out that moment, I sort of had a like, not an identity crisis, but just like everything that I've known is a lie,
100%.
or is it true? Like,
well, it's like how much more do I find out?
Yeah.
It's like how much more do I need to find out?
Yeah,
too,
like
right?
who had I remember that moment when my parents like said, yeah, like you're adopted. I was looking in the mirror for the first time, and I'm like, who has my eyes? Like who do I look like? Like what are their names? I really was just trying to like dig deep into where did I come from? Because where you came, like what's my story now?
100%. And that was when you're 19. Interesting. Okay, so when we're talking about like where you came from, we're gonna go back onto the topic, is where you came from in terms of like, well, hold on, pause, rewind. Do you feel that ever since finding out that you were adopted, do you feel like, did that ignite anything in you to kind of like, to go back to like your cultural, like real like cultural roots of being Filipina, and also be like now like being a Filipino business owner, and we talk about, and that's why we're doing this right now too, is just like I didn't want to be Filipina growing up. That was definitely an identity that I actually did not want to take part of at all, and only now I'm taking part of it. So do you feel that ever since you found out that you were adopted, and also being like that stage when you found that you're adopted versus the stage you're at now as a business owner, do you feel like you've been on the same constant path of finding yourself as a Filipina, or do you feel like there's a significant moment within that kind of ignited that?
I think I've always really embraced my Filipino roots. It was only when I had the issue of being dark-skinned Filipino because of the beauty standard. You had to be like lighter skin, because then that's the beauty standard. Like you're beautiful if you're like lighter. So it was just like growing up where like people were pointing out like you're just dark.
Yeah, that's okay. Is if you found that there was in between finding out that you're adopted and then being a new business owner now as a Filipina, if your perspective on connecting to your Filipino roots has changed. But you mentioned that it didn't change, right?
No,
because you've always embraced it.
Yeah, I've always embraced it.
The only thing was your skin color and everything, right?
Yeah, so. it was just that beauty standard that really, I don't know, triggered.
Yeah,
me.
100%.
But no, I'm very proud of my roots, and it's definitely the only thing that I really had issues was not being able to talk about your emotions, talk about your feelings. You have to respect your elders. Push everything down. I don't know how else.
Submissive. You have to become submissive as a
and then just keep hush hush.
Yeah.
And you just be quiet and just don't talk about it. And I think that's one of the things that it didn't really sit right with me. Like, you can be vocal and you can still show up and still speak up,
right,
and still show strength. It's not weakness.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, like what we're doing right now, I'm talking about this. That's not really like a Filipino thing, and talking about.
I am the most emotional girl.
Yeah.
I'm the most emotional, but I didn't realize that. Same. Like, just suppress.
Yeah,
so just
that's the
being
word,
a woman
suppress. Yeah.
also, right? It's just being suppressed your entire life, right? But would you say? I'm really curious. Would you say that, you're mentioning, like, yes, like our parents, they kind of put this image on us or this suppression on us, but would you say, because you said that your mom was a big influence on you opening a business and taking part of like photography, would you say that her kind of demeanor changed towards that near the end?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think when she really saw how passionate I was, and I think it was the moment where I opened up the studio, and she was here for the opening day, and that was actually the start of when her decline was happening. Her being here on like our opening day and being a part of that, I know that she's proud of me. Yeah. And I know that she not like proved them wrong, but just like proved that you can still follow your passion and still make money.
100%.
Yeah. Like entrepreneurship is not really like a Filipino
Not at all.
thing.
Not at all.
You go to
security is part of it. CPP is part of it, right? Benefits is like a Filipino dream, right?
Yeah.
But I think also as like newcomers, that's what they didn't have access to, right? So I do want to touch base on it, but I feel like our episode is coming close to the end. You mentioned that your way of dealing with grief is through prayer. And when I just saw you right now, right? You're blessing, cleansing the place with with what? Palo Santo.
I think that's what it's called now. Palo Santo.
All things palo. But no, palo cleanse out. Palo Santo. But no, it's not like that. But my God, I'm sorry, God. But would you say that with can you explain with prayer, and you don't have to go too deep into it, but how would you say that prayer has given you the ability to deal with grief?
Well, my journey with, I guess, like my faith and prayer has been very off and on, and I've come to realize there's different ways of prayer, and there's different ways of I don't know, connecting with the outer world or the spiritual world. For me, it's just prayer was such a big thing in growing up in my mom and dad's household. Like, we did the rosary every single day, all the three of us. Yeah. And even after my dad had passed. But I struggled with my faith and everything, but prayer is what keeps me connected. Because I do believe that there is heaven, and I do believe that my parents are still around, and if there's a way that I can still feel connected to them, I will do it in prayer. Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's actually, I don't know how much this might make you feel, but I was gonna say, if for some reason when you were mentioning that, I was like, they're actually like sitting right there watching us. They're actually like chilling with us right now. Yeah, right? So I do think that prayer, or spirituality in the Filipino culture is something that I'm learning right now as well. But the thing that I really appreciate about spirituality and connecting to the outer world is no matter where you go, I find the people who I speak to the most, that I feel the most sense of peace within themselves, are the people who pray. And whether that means meditation, journaling, actually praying the rosary, right? Actually going to church, or just doing like sweat lodges, things like that. These are the people that have the most peace within them that I find I'm interacting with, right? So with that being said, what would you say? So let's say, and I know you mentioned that you're still going through figuring out how to deal with grief, and I truly think it's important to talk to someone as they're going through the journey, because it's hard to compare yourself to someone who's been past this phase in their life, right? So what would, if you had one piece of suggestion for someone who is dealing with, you know, like grief of a loved one, or you can choose a topic, okay? So if you have one piece of advice for someone who's either one, dealing with grief of a loved one, or two, trying to uphold themselves in their household and trying to be the strong one while also staying true to themselves, what would you suggest they do for like the first step?
Just staying present, you know, and showing up even when times are still heavy, even when you just want to stay in bed all day. Just embrace it, you know, just it takes time. Yeah, like I wouldn't, like, don't force anything. Just go through the waves and go through the flow and feel it. Even if you don't want to, like at the moment, just like feel, just you have to feel it. You're already gonna go, you know, you're already gonna, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. So just feel it and go through with it, and just be present with it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely an answer, girl. All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Again, for everybody, this is Vivian, owner of Vivian Grace Photography, as well as this beautiful studio at Creative Lounge. Yeah, and then myself, your host, Shelly. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. All right.
Okay. Oh my God.